I'm Haley. I'm the design director at Lewis Creative, and today I am going to let you guys peek behind the design curtain and see how we create some of the unique designs using simple tips and tricks to give you an interesting design outcome. So I am working on a logo design right now that wants to grab its inspiration from old-time Victorian era monograms and logos. So I did a quick research and found, a few interesting things that we're working using a lot of, intricate swirls and filigree and typefaces and using a custom letter. And, a lot of these are just kind of boring. They just put a letter in the middle of this design rather than creating the design from the letter itself. So what I want to show you today is a really cool thing that I just happened upon recently in working on a project. And this is, let's just call it beautiful logo. And when we're looking at doing something that is kind of period correct, and we're needing to kind of tap into a certain sense of design aesthetic, it's really important when you're dealing with typography to, get that feel from the typeface itself. So let's go in and let's grab a serif typeface. Is something a little more traditional than your sans serif, and let's give it some letter space here. Yeah, beautiful. You know what? I'm gonna shorten our word. It's getting a little long. Let's keep it simple. And let's go back into our typefaces. Let's get some letter space on this as well. I want to give it some air. Let your logos breathe. That is probably one of the biggest design advices I could give you. And then we will deal with some kerning. Let's kind of tighten up a little bit. When we have the A, it kind of gives you a strange little kerning space thing. Okay, so here's our name, and we want to do a monogram type logo, but not just putting in a letter in the middle of some design thing. So here is the interesting thing that I found out when I was playing around. So let's do the letter B, and we'll just start with my go-to Gotham Narrow book. That is kind of my new Helvetica. And if you are familiar with typography at all, Helvetica is either one of those things that you love it or you hate it as a designer. And I love Helvetica. But when Gotham came out, the first time I noticed it was in the '08 elections. The signage for the Obama campaign, he used Gotham. Absolutely loved the font and scoured and found out what it was. And now Gotham is kind of my go-to that I just start with. So, okay, so we have the letter B. And I'm going to put sample over here too, and I'm going to pull beauty down so it's out of the way. Let's zoom in and let's make some stuff happen. So what I want to do with this is I want to create some kind of interesting shape, and let's throw in a guide. So let's do this. I'm going to throw in a guide here. Now I just copied it and I pasted it in front of it, and what we can do is we find our transform. There it is. And we flip it horizontally. And now we have an interesting shape happening. Here we go. So if we're doing this kind of Victorian era monogrammed kind of feminine logo, the shapes that we're creating right now look like a flower and a heart, a fan, things that would be appropriate for what we're trying to accomplish with this logo. Now this is where it's going to get super fun. So I have the B. This is our original typeface over here. Here is our modified kind of design that we're working on. I'm going to highlight both of these. And over here in the font typeface, what we can do is we can start seeing what this design would look like in another typeface. So right now we're in Gotham Narrow. Now you can see it becoming something completely different as the typefaces change. And you know, everything from crazy bold to, and they start to look like faces. So things, have fun with this. Find something. There's one that looks like a mask, something kind of cuckoo, but find something that is fitting the look and feel that you're going for. And the interesting thing about it is that it's going to become its own shape, its own design. It's going to become an iconic mark for the logo itself. And you, as the designer or the owner of the logo, you're going to know that it has a hidden meaning in there, being the first letter of the business, of your business name, or you know, of the product name itself. So let's find one. Let's find one that we can decide is a good choice here. So you can just see how these change, and as the letter on the the right, you can see the typeface that we're using and then how it's being impacted by the design itself. Okay, so curls. That is a typeface I would never use in a design, but look how pretty and intricate it's looking in the design itself. Then you have something, you know, really bizarre going on with all of the swooshes in this script typeface. And then it completely changes when you go to a more modern or bold. It almost looks, it has an oriental character influence, you know, going into even some of these sans serif fonts, keeping it very, very simple, but elegant and intricate. So let's just find one that will work for now. Even your crazy fonts, these crazy ones are amazing. That looks like a little owl. Check that out. Lucida Black. Okay. So let's just take this for right now. And we'll group it. Bring this back. We want to align. Where is my align? Align. Centered. Let's get rid of this. This here. So I just made that a little bigger so it has a little bit of the proportion is feeling a little better with the words underneath. And now we take our letter, monogrammed logo, and we take the type, we create outlines, and in our Pathfinder, we combine it. So now if you take it out of preview, you can see that it's actually a shape, it's a logo. And there you go. So in the, 7 minutes that we were just playing with typefaces and seeing what kind of shapes that we could create, we have come up with something completely unique for this brand, and it is something that is custom but easy and something you can completely do yourself if you take the time and you investigate and you just know from your research what you're looking for, what you want to create, and there you have it. So go out, keep filling that creative well. Look in your environment, look for things around you that are going to inspire you, do your research, come back, take your pencil to paper, start thinking about how to manipulate common shapes, even if it's just a font and a simple letter, and making it something unique and personalized to you, your business, or your product. So best of luck. Thanks for joining in, and I'm going to be doing a number of these little tips and tricks and a little peek behind that design curtain to help you as a DIY designer for your business so you can make the best visual presence for your company as possible. So have fun, and I will see you next time. Bye.